So we've done a humongous article about the digital nomad visa on our blog. So if you're interested in all the details and all the news and updates of 2025, go to our blog, movetoprague.com, or in the blog section there and read the article. It's one of the latest. But in today's video, I will focus primarily on bringing family with you, because that's one of the common questions about the digital nomad visa in the Czech Republic, if you can come and apply also with your family members. So let's dig into that a bit more. First of all, okay, you can bring your family members. That's the first thing. Second thing though is that it works in a bit different way than for standard visa application. Sorry, I'm just like watching the chat there. Are you lagging? Not sure what it is, but it distracts me. Anyway, back to the topic. So it works a bit differently for digital nomad family members than for standard family members. So I will talk about the differences here now. First, maybe though, to clarify who is considered a family member in the Czech Republic, because it might be different than what you're used to in other countries. Because in the Czech Republic, basically, family members that you can bring are only spouses and children. Not like if you plan on bringing someone else, like sisters, brothers, parents, grandparents, uncles, that's not gonna work out. Same thing with just partners. So if you're not married and you're just dating someone, that will be very difficult to bring them here as well. So yes, you can bring a family, but only if they meet the definition of family by the Czech Republic, which is spouses and or kids. Now, there is one very important part of the process that you need to keep in mind when you're applying for the digital nomad visa, and then also for your family members. Because how the whole digital nomad visa process works is that ideally the last step of yours should be applying for the digital nomad status to the Czech Ministry of Industry and Trade, the MIT. Because what happens after is that the MIT, if they approve you for the program, they say, okay, you've provided enough documentation that you are a digital nomad as Czech Republic sees them, then the MIT will directly contact the embassy of your choosing, and the embassy will immediately kind of offer you an appointment to go submit the application. And usually from our experience, these appointments are pretty swift. So in like a week or two, you go to the embassy. What it means is that at the time when you're applying for the digital nomad registration at the MIT, you should already have all the documents ready, because if then the embassy gives you an appointment and you don't go because you don't have all the documents prepared, or you're waiting for something or whatever, then you will not be able to submit the application, and you also might not be able to get another appointment. Officially, the rules of the program say that you can reschedule once, but you need to prove to the embassy that you had a serious reason why you were not able to come to the embassy. Hard to say if a serious reason is I'm a lazy ass and I didn't get all the documents together in time, you know? So you should ideally have all the documents ready before you apply for the MIT Digital Nomad registration. And why I'm saying this and explaining all this whole thing is that the same applies for your family members. Because when you're applying for the digital nomad registration to the MIT, you also specify if you want to bring family members and which ones, like whom you want to bring. And the same rules apply. So if you are approved for the digital nomad program, you get an appointment at the embassy, but your family members get appointments as well for basically the same day, same time. So you should also have all the documents ready for your family members. And this is something we've seen that people usually make a mistake if they try to get the digital nomad visa on their own, like without the help of some lawyer or advisor like us, for example, because unless you read our blog in details, if you get the information somewhere else from the official sources, you will hardly find this information that you should do or apply for the digital nomad registration to the MIT as the last step when you already have everything. And even if it's mentioned somewhere, no one tells you like how long it takes to get an appointment and if you can choose it or not, or more specifically that you cannot choose it. You're just assigned one. So if you miss the appointment because of not having all the documents ready, that could be a problem. If you miss the appointment twice, you could potentially or the doors could close for you for the Czech Digital Nomad program. So it's definitely not worth the hassle. Embassies will not like you either if you don't show up for appointments, because most of embassies are pretty busy and then they don't like canceling or rescheduling appointments anyway. So let me see if there is something else which is different for family members, but I don't think so. This is the main difference. And what is important is the definition of a family member, because that might be different than what you're used to. Let's see if anyone has any questions related to the Digital Nomad program or the Digital Nomad visa. If not, then I will end the live stream and I will go to the joiners only section and I will have a live Q&A session there only for joiners. So if you have any questions that are not related to the Digital Nomad program, you can not subscribe, join, I believe. You can join. For $8 a month, you get 8 live streams where you can ask me questions directly. And Pratik is, I would want to say, one of the joiners. I think he's the only one for now, but he can share his experience with the live streams because we've basically done 2 where I was just answering his questions for like 45 minutes because we were just the 2 of us there. So you get a lot of value for $8 a month. Anyway, this is a question about an employee card, so that's not related. Pratik, we will be seeing each other in 2 minutes probably. I will go to the joiners area. Issa, hi Issa, thank you for joining. So let me give you 30 seconds until we reach 9 minutes of the live stream. If you have any questions about the Digital Nomad program and bringing family members as a Digital Nomad, then I'll be happy to answer those. Otherwise, you can see me in the joiners area in 2 minutes answering live Q&As. Pratik, you should get it, guys. Absolutely value for money. Jan is very helpful. Thank you very much. You guys see it in real life. So if you have any questions that are not related to the Digital Nomad, come join me to the joiners area, $8 a month, 8 live streams where I answer your questions one-on-one. Thank you guys and see you again Thursday, Monday, until the end of the world. Bye-bye. Good night.